As we've been reporting, Michael Bloomberg is ending his brief and costly bid for the Democratic presidential nomination and putting his support behind former Vice President Joe Biden. Our Caitlin Huey-Burns joins us now from Houston with more. So, Caitlin, I know that you were getting ready to pack up, head out of Houston, and the news broke that former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg was suspending his campaign and formally endorsing former Vice President Joe Biden. Remind our audience how Mayor Bloomberg fared on Super Tuesday.
Hi, Vlad. Well, what a breaking news day, and we are here for it outside of our hotel in Houston. So we hustled to get in front of this camera. Big breaking news day. Michael Bloomberg announcing that he is ending his campaign and endorsing Joe Biden. This comes after Michael Bloomberg had put it all on Super Tuesday, and the only state he won wasn't actually, it was just the American Samoa, which is kind of indicative of how poorly he fared in these contests. Here in Texas is a good example where he invested a lot of time and money, and it's not clear yet that he will get delegates out of Texas. Joe Biden had a big surprise win here last night. This was a devastating day for the Bloomberg campaign last night, I should say. Today, taking stock of the actual path forward, Bloomberg said that he is a data-driven guy and that he was looking at the data and the analytics, and there is no path forward for him. So he got out today and endorsed Joe Biden. Joe Biden has welcomed this endorsement, tweeting his thanks to the former mayor of New York City.
Yeah, and now, of course, there's the tweet. I can't thank you enough for your support and for your tireless work on everything from gun safety reform to climate change. The race is bigger than candidates and bigger than politics. It's about defeating Donald Trump, and with your help, we're going to do it. So with that, key line for me there, with your help, the millions of dollars that Michael Bloomberg poured into let's face it, a losing campaign. Now, just describe, Caitlin, for our viewers, what kind of operation Mike Bloomberg has amassed across the country.
Well, think about how much money he spent on his own election, his own race this time around. About almost $500 million. What you could do with that kind of money, the list goes on and on. But in politics, especially in a presidential race, that's critical. So Michael Bloomberg pledged to stay engaged, and endorsing Joe Biden does suggest that he will be there to finance the effort to take on Donald Trump. And that's something important to note about the way Michael Bloomberg ran his campaign. It was almost singularly focused on Donald Trump. He never really went after his rivals until he was on the debate stage and focused his efforts against Bernie Sanders. But he really kept this focus on Donald Trump. And so if you're a Democrat in this race, having the support, the financial backing of Michael Bloomberg to be able to continue that message could be critical, especially for Joe Biden. We've been talking about how he doesn't have as many resources financially as other candidates may, or as a frontrunner might. Bernie Sanders has a big pool of small dollar donors that he continues to tap into. So this could be critical for Biden with Bloomberg staying in. And it just shows, again, the coalescing of traditional Democrats around Joe Biden's candidacy. Remember, Michael Bloomberg, former Republican, who Biden often says is not a Democrat, by the way, got into this race because he saw weaknesses in Biden's campaign. Well, ever since South Carolina, you've seen many Democrats say that Joe Biden has turned it around, has been able to show that he's been able to build a broad constituency and a strong base of support with high voter turnout in primaries last night. And so this could be the start of others joining behind Joe Biden.
And Caitlin, let me ask you briefly about Senator Elizabeth Warren. What are you hearing about the viability of her campaign?
That's right. The campaign shared with us a memo that her campaign manager sent around to staff this morning, and it was pretty honest. He said, we're obviously disappointed, and we are going to announce shortly that she's taking steps to reassess the path forward. He said we fell short of the viability goals and projections, and we're disappointed in the results. Elizabeth Warren is back home in Massachusetts. Remember, she lost her home state last night, came in third place behind Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders. So a disappointing night for her. She had been looking to Super Tuesday to help rejuvenate her campaign. Her campaign manager also said in that memo that this decision is up to Elizabeth. So we're waiting to hear more from the Warren campaign, but we know they're assessing the next steps forward. She fell well short of expectations, not only on Super Tuesday, but remember in those earlier contests where they had been talking about a robust ground operation. So she would be the last woman standing in this race, at least in the top tier. Tulsi Gabbard is still officially in this race as well, but hasn't been amassing many delegates. So the race moves on, but again, this is so fast moving. The past 48 hours have been a complete whirlwind, especially here in Texas, and we'll see what comes next from Warren.
All right, Caitlin, we so appreciate you and your producer, Sean Gallitz, gearing up and getting into place for us. I know you were on the phone with us in the last hour, and now you got a camera to talk to us. Just really, really appreciate the hustle. Thank you, guys.
Well, props to Sean for literally running to the camera, so we appreciate it.
He's known for doing that. Thank you both.